keep it as much as possible, but because you know how they demonetize it.
Yeah.
All right. But it is what it is.
The number one live show in the world, West Coast Pop Log Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop log.
It's that time again, Tuesday night.
Let's go.
The number one live Tuesday night podcast
on Earth
in the world. It's the West Coast Pop Log Podcast.
That's
coming to you
us.
live from Pig Studios in a secret location in Compton, California.
Super secret, can't tell.
And today we have a special guest, Jimmy. He goes as Jimmy Sauce.
Jimmy Sauce.
Tasting all the food out there, so you don't have to.
Oh.
You don't have to waste your time and go to a taco stand and be like,
right.
I wonder how it tastes. Go check him out.
Yeah, he lets you know.
He'll tell you if it's tacos or all kind. We're gonna dive into it today with him. So welcome,
Give it up for
Jimmy
yourself.
Sauce.
Yeah, right. Thank you guys. Yo, what it do, party people? Happy Taco Tuesday.
Oh shit.
That's right. Taco Tuesday, guys. Thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure. It's an honor.
It is Taco Tuesday. I always forget about that.
Yeah,
Even though this is the only, I always make sure. You know when I remember is I drive home and there's a taco truck right on my way to the house.
Oh, yeah.
And it's different tacos every week, but they do different dollar tacos.
Nice.
Every Tuesday, So that's what I remember. I'm like, oh shit, that's right.
Driving
Tacos.
down here, just driving down this way, I ran into a couple taco trucks, and I'm like, man, I gotta go get some before I go home. So
Sure.
yeah.
Is there an oversaturation of tacos now? Because even like where I live in Orange County, it's just getting swarmed.
Sure.
And it's the ones that we like, with the little lights and doesn't have a name. But there's a trompo, there's every single meat you can think of in like 5 different waters and 8 different salsas. But is it getting oversaturated?
It is. It's oversaturated all over LA. Not LA, Orange County, all over San Bernardino. It's oversaturated. But people don't realize that there's everybody has a different style of foods, a different style of tacos. And everybody's different. You might go to this, truck and they might have something that's almost similar to, but everybody's got different stuff. The salsas change around. So, but it is oversaturated. Growing up in East LA, there was only one taco truck when I was a kid, and now there's like about 1,000 of them. So, but everybody has a different style. So, you can pick and choose on what
I
you
always
want.
think about it like hair salons or all that's kind of is sure
Barbershops.
sure there's an oversaturation, but there's room at the top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're like this oversaturation is happening at the bottom and in the middle. At the
Yeah.
top of all industries, at the top, they're hoping for people like, yo, where's the killers? Like, where are
Yeah.
the where? And then you eventually the cream rises to the top. So yes, there's saturation and all this is, but that shit is, we're looking for killers still. Where are they at?
Yeah.
You had mentioned about a taco truck, just a truck. Just a little stand with the little lights and stuff, no
Yeah.
name. Those are the best.
Yeah, yeah.
The ones
Of
that don't have
course.
any name on them or anything, and have no advertisements or not. You go to those little taco stands and you go, "What the fuck? This great food. It's amazing. It blows your mind." And you're like, "Well, who are you guys? Where are you guys from?" And we're just local people,
Yeah,
But
we're just-
they have their stilo. They have their
We live
style.
right there.
Yeah, yeah. Some of these people are in front of their houses in
Yeah.
their yards, and you pass by and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna give these guys a shot, and you're blown away by their food. Everybody has their own style, background on how they've learned how to cook, and yeah, it's great. I like it. I like to give everybody a shot. I might not go to them again, but I'll stop by and give them a shot and try their food and see what it's all about. But there's places I've been to and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna come back and come back and come back.
Yeah.
And that's what we do, So me and my wife do that all the time.
There's a place by my house that they needed a roof on their house.
Hell yeah.
So they started selling tacos in the front and in the corners. We called them tacos la esquina.
Oh wow, okay.
The corner
so
tacos.
you guys gave them
Yeah.
the
We
name.
gave
Oh, wow.
my boy was like, hey, let's go get some tacos, at the Taco La Esquina. So we're like, what? And then once they got the roof, they stopped. I was like, whoa, these were bomb, dude. Like, what
No,
the
they
hell?
knew. They knew. They were like, look, we're not in this for the long haul. We just need a roof, man. Get out of here.
Man. But they were so good, though. You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to say that was the beginning of their empire.
Oh, I would
was
say-
originally they were just trying to pay for a roof.
That's
but
all
now,
they did. The roof's on there, and I was like, tacos are gone.
They're like,
I
yo,
was
this is a lot. They're like, this is a lot of work, man. I don't want to do this shit
Yeah.
anymore.
You know what? It is a lot of work.
It has to be.
Goes,
It has to be.
Man, there's so much work that goes behind it. And it's funny you mentioned they needed a roof, but I've got a friend that sells cars at a car dealership over in East LA, and he tells me, man, they're coming in here, they're buying cars cash, they're buying Corvettes, they're buying, all these great cars, trucks and stuff, and they're paying cash. And he goes, you know what they do? I'm like, I have no idea. He says they're taco vendors, and I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, they're making
taco vendors, hot dog vendors.
Sure.
I mean, I have
Fruit
a friend.
stand? Where's the fruit stand,
the fruit
man?
stands. Because there's somebody that is, I mean, I don't want to say like pimp, but he's the guy.
Sure. There's not. Look, each one of those people don't own their individual cart.
No, there's one guy that
Yeah.
controls it. You know what I'm saying? And they're making dough, and it's cash.
Yeah.
And I've seen lately, coming out of concerts, it's like the hot dog lady.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're selling beers.
Sure.
$5 a beer, like crack. You're like, what? And it's just crazy. What is your view on them setting up in front of an established spot, though?
There's been a lot of controversy over that and stuff, and a lot of the businesses get upset because they think that they're taking their business. And to me, I mean, you've got let's say a burger stand, and I like burgers. My wife likes tacos. Let's we'll go back and forth, but I think that everybody has enough. There's a chance for everybody to make money.
Sure.
If you drive down the street, just like driving down this way, you got Jack in the Box, you got McDonald's, and you got Burger King all in one corner.
No, that's why I've said this all the time. If you're opening a Burger King, you don't go look for the place where there's nothing. You go look for a McDonald's, and you open up right across the street from it.
Exactly.
That's where you go.
Right. And there's people are gonna go to the the establishments, whatever they're selling. My wife loves mariscos. I'm not a big marisco fan, but I she'll get mariscos, and I'll go across the street and get me torta. But there's a lot of people that don't like to have businesses pop out in front of them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where a lot of the abuse and all that stuff's coming out. If we all watch the news and stuff, a lot of people are getting they're getting beat up and they're getting hurt because of that.
And you're an advocate for that. I saw some of your posts about being on the news and talking about, what's going on with these people, and not only just like other establishments, but even other people in general that just that get pissed and are throwing their food on the ground. And
Yeah.
And you also talked about how, well, you know what? Let's go backwards, because you started off cooking.
Yes.
So you just didn't start off with the camera.
No. It goes back to about 2008. Since I was a kid, I want to say since I was little, I've always loved cooking, and it was something I loved to do. It was just a passion, and I've cooked for friends and family, and I've had friends tell me, "Hey, man, you need to open up a restaurant." I'm like, "Oh, come on, I'm not that good." They're like, "No, yes, you are." And me and my wife were coaching softball for our daughter's team, and we did we brought some salsa one day. We sold hot dogs, and we made about $800, And it went back to the team, of course. And my wife looks at me. She goes, "Jimmy, look at your salsa. It's all gone." But everybody else's salsa was still untouched. And I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. They liked it.
Yeah.
And so we started catering, for friends. I'm sorry. Let me go back. For family only. And then it got to friends. And then more people started calling us. I'm like, no, we don't do this. And it just kind of evolved from that. Yeah, it did.
No, we don't do this.
Yeah.
Hey, that thing that you did? Will you do that for me? We don't do that. Like, stop calling
Our
us.
first event was our first event away from family was pretty big. It was for a bike club. And it was a lot of people, and I was scared. I was nervous. I didn't know how much meat to buy. I didn't know how much stuff to make. And I'll never forget this. This little old lady comes up to me, and she tells me in Spanish. Well, she asked my wife, "Who makes the salsa here?" And I just looked at her, and my eyes opened up, and I said, "Fuck, what did I do?"
Oh, shit. This little old lady's going to let you have it.
Yeah, and I kind of stood back. My wife goes, "Oh, he made it." There was a couple of us there. I had hired a couple of friends to come with us, and then she goes, "He made it," and then she goes, "You made the salsa?" And I go, "Yes." "Is everything okay?" And she says, "Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to go to the top." And I said,
Hell yeah.
I was blessed. So I asked one of the guys there, I go, "Who's that lady?" He goes, "Why? What happened?" I said, "No, she just gave me a compliment." And he goes, "Well, if she told you that, she knows what she's talking about. She's got a couple successful restaurants." And that was, didn't tell me the name, but he told me that. And that was like kind of like the icing on the cake for me. I said, I got this. It started off with one salsa, and we created other salsas. And we started catering. We catered the a couple years ago, we catered for the Killers at the Staples Center, just for the band.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And it was funny because their management called me, and they were like, "Well, we got this special event, blah, blah, we're going back and forth." And I had said no to them. And the guy says, you know who the Killers are?" I said, "Of course I know the Killers. I love their music." He says for them. But it was a Friday night, and it was at 11:30. They wanted me to cater, and it was 5:30 in the afternoon. Excuse me. Well, we had 2 catering events the next day, and I was like, I can't do it. And I was like, man, I'm telling the killers no. And so it got to the point where they kept going back and forth, and then we hung up, and then they called back again. And I told my wife, don't answer. So she does a swipe. She's like, here, what are you doing, man? I answered the phone. I said, okay, guess what? We're down. Matt Bellamy from Muse was there. I mean, it's pretty
That's
exciting.
awesome.
That was like,
Yeah.
Nice.
wow.
Because whoever's calling has been told make this happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not, like, this isn't their decision. This is whoever's on that phone has been told, yo, get this, get this shit done. So they're on the phone hanging up like, fuck, like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to? What the fuck am I gonna do now? It's like, call that fool back and tell him something.
Get
I don't care
him.
what you tell him, but you better get him here. It's like,
I want that salsa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked how they heard of us, and they said they found us on Yelp, and they really wanted us to come down, and we were like, it's not that I didn't want to do it, it's just a last minute thing, and then I said, look, this is what we can do, but I'm going to charge you this price because it's last minute.
Yeah.
We don't care. Come down. I went down to the Staples Center, went down to their green room. They gave me the backstage pass. I went downstairs. They gave me the credit card, swiped it. No tip. It's okay.
Bastards.
Yeah, damn you. And so, yeah, we did it, and they came out, and they ate, and we were hanging out with Vinny, the drummer, and we were talking with him, and they were really cool, man. But Brandon Flowers loves tacos.
Oh.
You'll catch him in Mexico eating tacos at a little taco
Hell
stand.
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty damn cool. So,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, tacos are a way of life, and salsa is just I would say the icing on the cake,
It really, like you were talking about before, it really can make or break
Yeah.
a spot. Like, it could make, this place is, like, people are like, oh, this is so good. And you want to talk, it's like, I guess it's all right. It's like, no, you didn't have the sauce. You didn't have the sauce. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
right.
is really good.
Yeah, I've heard that quite a few times too. It's like, did you get the salsa? Did you get the red?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Oh my God! I'll tell you a funny, quick little story. My wife was pregnant. She calls me one day and says, "Hey, go get me King Taco." I said, "All right, I'll go get the King Taco." I'm tired. I'm running behind, so I get her King Taco. I get her a couple tacos, maybe a sopa or something. I get home and then she opens the bags and says, "Where's the salsa at?" I said, "Oh man, I forgot. I'm tired. I've been working all day." Jimmy, get back in your freaking car and go get me salsa. I go, "You're kidding, right?" She's like, "No, get in your car and go." Jump in my car, and I'm like kicking rocks. I'm like, damn it, man, you son of a bitch. But I'm getting pissed, right? I drive back to King Taco, gotta wait in line. I buy something else, and I ask him for extra salsa. And I come home, she's happy, I'm happy.
I just got home and it was gone. She already ate it.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right, man. Salsa can make or something. They can make and break you. And salsa's, it's an art. Like I said earlier, it's really an art. And it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience to make it make it right. So yeah, I mean, tacos are a way of life, and
There's a place in Orange County off Beach Boulevard, and if you're going south, right when you pass the 22, it's on the right-hand side. It's called Bob's Burger.
Oh, really?
And they make a breakfast burrito, and it's the salsa that they use
That makes it.
that makes it, bro. Because the breakfast burrito, they're all the same. Potatoes, eggs, whatever.
Bacon, all
That's
that
the
good
same,
stuff, right.
same.
Whoa. It's not because
Turn on that mic.
Yeah, see, he's coming in here, doesn't even know what we're talking about, has no clue.
I am listening from remote satellite, sir. Trust me, I am knee deep. But I will say that not everyone, yes, there's a good majority of people that do like salsa. For people like me that don't like salsa, because
Really?
to me, salsa is
This
a
fool's coming here
fucking
shitting on.
Yeah,
He's coming here shitting on the entire thing
No,
we're talking about right now.
I'm just saying, like, I love not things covered up so that I can actually taste the ingredients before dousing it with some other flavor, because that's supposed to, this is, whatever that main course is before you douse it with something else.
You just don't like condiments.
I do like condiments.
Just not salsa.
Yeah,
It's too hot.
apparently.
But anyway, these guys make a very unique salsa. Like, super unique, man.
I don't like
And
it in my breakfast burrito.
You don't like it in
salsa?
regular? No?
Nuh-uh.
Nah,
Oh,
this
man.
one...
Unless it's chorizo and egg. If I
Nah.
get a chorizo and egg burrito, then I want
hungry,
salsa.
bro. Shit, I want a fucking burrito.
That's all we talk about it here.
Yeah.
It's goddamn time is food.
Wrestling and food, but the thing about their spot is just it's so unique, man. I've never had a salsa like this, and yeah, I'll even take some extra and I'll put it in my fridge, and then I'll douse it up.
So
with
took
some,
it there,
oh
something.
my god!
Can I give you guys a little secret? If
Absolutely.
you guys get salsa from any establishment, put it in the freezer. leave it overnight, and then thaw it out the next day. It just makes it much more tastier, much better. Oh yeah.
I'll take that advice. No
yeah.
problem.
We have a green basil jalapeno salsa. We have a salsa roja. We got about 12 flavors. 2 of them were actually bottled and FDA approved and everything. We had them done in Newport Beach, and we would do another green basil and salsa roja, and we would put them in the freezer. The next day we thaw them out, and it was just amazing flavors. I don't know. They fermentate, or they just get
Something's going on.
Something goes on in the freezer we don't know
Sure.
about, and once you take it out, and
I'm
you
not a
get it-
scientist. I don't know what it is.
but that was
There's some
my.
salsa secrets going on today.
The molecular structure changes.
It really does. It really does. It was something that just overnight it just made it something more tastier, something more just really good flavoring.
So then here's the $1 million question: red or green?
That is a good question. Me personally, I'm a green guy. I love green salsa. I love the heat, but green to me just makes everything much tastier. Now my wife, she's a red salsa. It's all about red, but I'll do both. I'll dab into the red. I'll dab into the green. Something about the green is just more flavorful.
For me, I used to be green, but I'll do green on pork. But everything else, I'll do red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Whenever
Okay.
I ask for green sauce anywhere, I was getting like, like all right, like they were
This guy
not.
knows what's up.
Yeah, they were not expecting me to say like green, red. It's like green. It's like
Yeah, red's good. Red's good. It just I don't know something about the red. It's just the acidity and the tomatoes, and then the green. And we got the tomatillos.
yeah.
So the tomatillos are not that acidity. So I don't get that heartburn or anything like that. So and then they use different stuff on it. So yeah, I've done salsas for many years, and I've took it on the road. Took my tacos to Miami for 2 years, and they went bananas for it out there, man.
We got Rizzo 1181. What's up, bro? And he's a green
salsa
all the way.
salsa with everything.
That's right,
Green.
salsa with everything. That's right, salsa with everything. I put salsa in my hamburgers, and it just makes it much more tastier. What he was just saying right now, he doesn't do salsa. I'm like, no, come on, man. It just
come on, Mario.
it just makes it different. You know what? I'm a soft-top chef. I've worked at the University of Miami. I worked for a couple kitchens here, and I opened up a restaurant. We had a food truck, and what I do is I cook with my salsa. So there's a lot of times where people put the salsa on top of their food. I'll put the salsa on the grill on my flat top and mix it in with the food and then serve it up. So now you got all the flavors infused into the food. Mm-hmm. So every bite you take, you get that salsa.
Sure.
And for some reason, the flat top just kind of smokes it out a little bit. It's extra flavors. Try it next time. Next time you make a breakfast burrito, throw everything all at once and throw the salsa. Trust me, you'll thank me later.
There's a place in Seal Beach that they're right there. I don't know. It's Main Street or something. It's right where it heads towards the pier on Seal Beach, and that's how they make their breakfast burritos. You go in there any time of the day, everybody's eating breakfast burritos in there. Everybody.
I just want to go have a breakfast burrito the other day over at Pepe's in Alhambra, and the green salsa on top of it, man, it's freaking delicious.
I like the red burrito.
Really?
I like the red.
Yeah.
Chile rojo.
Oh, really? Okay.
With rice only, no beans on that one.
Oh, man, I do everything. Rice, beans, cilantro, onion, everything. Just give it to me.
Yeah, and Pepe's, they have some huge breakfast burritos, bro.
Those burritos are huge,
Yeah.
and they're so good, man.
Yeah.
They're we were sitting there eating it, and there was a line, and it was a line around the corner, and I couldn't see the end of the line. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, and they're buying burritos and just breakfast burrito at 10 o'clock at night. It's pretty badass.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. There's a huge line out there.
There used to be, when I lived in Wilmington, there's a place over there. It's open 24 hours a day. I'll get a breakfast burrito, anytime.
Heck yeah. Even right up the street here at fucking Tam's. I'll get a
Sure.
breakfast burrito. If they have it and they're doing it all night, I'm down.
Yeah.
You know who does a breakfast burrito too that is surprising? Tommy's.
I've never had it, really.
Yeah, they do a breakfast sandwich and a breakfast burrito.
You're
Of course,
kidding
with
me.
the
With
chili.
chili?
With the
Oh.
chili.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I haven't
you
eaten
guys-
there forever. That place makes for my fucking. I get heartburn. That was where I discovered what heartburn was. And indigestion was in fucking Tommy's. I was like, I think I'm dying. They're like, you're not dying.
No, man. Yeah, that sauce is. I mean, no, not the sauce. The chili is really good, but it's a little heavy on the side. But you know what? Luckily, at my age, I don't get heartburn anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
I just started.
I was getting heartburn in my early 30s. And I couldn't even drink coffee, and then it got to a point where I was scared to eat anything. I'm 51 now, and I can eat anything. I get a little it goes away in a couple minutes, and I'm good. And I sleep at night. I don't know how that happened, but lucky me.
Hell yeah. Like
You gotta hit that Tommy's though. Tommy's.
We did.
Yeah,
We-
put it to the test.
We went hiking a while back, and we stopped at Tommy's. And I don't do the hot dogs, but I got a hot dog, and I thought that was freaking tasty. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
The sauce and everything, and it was really good. I do Tommy's once in a while, but I didn't know they have a breakfast burrito. So I'm definitely gonna try that.
Yeah, gotta try it
Definitely
out.
with that chili sauce. That looks
The
good.
chili, sausage, potato, and the egg, and then cheese.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what?
That sounds good.
But I tried it. It was pretty bomb. So what got you? Because what got you into doing the videos?
You know what? It started during the opening season for the pandemic. You know, I mean, nobody was going out, and me and my wife, we just love going out and eating, and you know, just getting out there. And we were driving around East LA, and we noticed a lot of the food trucks, a lot of vendors. Nobody was out there supporting them, or nobody was out there buying their food. And I like going to the vendors. You know, people. I'm gonna say something real quick. A lot of people say, "Oh man, these the vendors. You know, they're not wearing gloves. They get people sick." My whole life, I've eaten out on the streets at vendors. I've never once gotten sick. Now, I've eaten at restaurants and I've gotten sick. You know what I mean? So
I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
with me.
right?
So
Yeah.
the only I don't mean to interrupt your story.
No,
the
no, no.
only places that I've traveled out of the country, I've been to Peru
Nice.
and I've been to Thailand.
Okay.
And both those places are like a lot of them is outside eating,
Yeah.
night market style. Like, and if you think our food is poorly handled here,
Oh, I
you
know.
what I mean?
I've seen videos.
Like, let's go. I'll take you to a third world country where it's like I couldn't, like, my little American heart was so shocked, like, seeing all this and I ate it, all of them, and nothing ever nothing happened.
Yeah, right.
Nothing happened. So I'm not, for anybody who's gotten sick out there, like, I'm not shit talking you, but I know that we go above and beyond. Even the people you think are like ill are above and beyond what's necessary
Yeah.
to make you not get sick. You know?
Right,
Like, get
right.
out
No,
of here.
yeah. I've seen those videos. So I've seen a lot of videos of people on the street, you know, in Thailand or other places in the world, and you think, you know, I wouldn't eat there, but some of these places have got some of the best
It's
foods.
delicious.
Right,
It was
right.
delicious.
Yeah, no. I just getting back to what I was doing. It's just a lot of these people weren't supporting these vendors or the food trucks, and I'm the youngest of 6. So when we were growing up, my dad and my mom didn't have a lot of money, so McDonald's was something special.
A treat.
A treat. Take the whole family to go get McDonald's. It was a treat. It wasn't something like, oh, let's just go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
It would be like once in a while to go to McDonald's. So we would stop at the food truck and get tacos over in East Los Angeles, Boyle Heights. Actually, there was an old market called Johnson's Market, and off of Soto and Cesar Chavez, which is Brooklyn Avenue. Back in the late 70s, I would go there to a food truck, and they had the best tacos. So our family would feed us tacos because that was the cheapest thing they can get back then. So I've grown up eating food stands and whatnot. Not once have I gotten sick. So me and my wife noticed that nobody was going out there, and everything was closed. So I said, hey, well, let's go support these guys and do a video. And we didn't realize how good they were gonna. I'm not saying good, but the response that we got was amazing.
Yeah.
After seeing a video, my first 500 views, I was like, no, man, 500 views? Oh my God.
Fuck yeah, I'd be fired up with 500 views
Yeah,
too.
I was on top of the clouds. I was like, yeah, I got like 50 likes. I'm like, yeah. So, and then just one thing that led to another. We did this food truck in East LA, and they needed our help. And we went out and we got them a lot of people. We went back one day, and he tells me he's got people from Frisco, from Orange County, from all over coming down because of you. And I said, because of me? I'm like, no, come on now. He says, no, really. And that really made me feel good. It just kind of, made me feel like, hey, I think I got something here. So I wanted to go out there, do more videos, and just support the local community. And we did it. And we're still doing it now. And it's a blessing. It really is. And then to get recognized from it, and people really come up to us. And, we're doing a lot of these different venues, and people come up and be like, hey, man, I follow you on Instagram, and I love what you do, man. Every time you eat something, you make me want to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. Oh, we go to the places that you recommend, and they're delicious. And I'm like, and half these people, I don't know them. I just fist pump them. Hey, man, thank you. Then I walk away, and my wife's like, who's that? I said, I don't know.
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, but it's a great feeling to know that you're making a difference and helping these people, to get people to come to their place, and it just makes me sleep. We sleep good at night.
Fuck
You know what I mean?
Which is what's the most
good and full.
That's the most.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, that's
the most
true.
important thing. How are you falling asleep at night? You know.
We fall asleep good and full, like Steve said. And it's a good feeling, a lot of people don't realize that these vendors out there, this is what they do for a living. And a lot of people don't know this. But I met this one vendor that got shot. Yeah, he got shot in the foot. So we went out to go do a little video for them.
While he was vending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they got robbed and he got shot in the foot. And he was back the next day at work. And he was in a cast, is on a walker. So we went back and we did a little interview. And off camera, he tells me that he's got to work because he's
got to work.
He's got to work because he's sending his daughter through college. And, you know, a lot of people, they don't pay taxes. No, they do pay taxes. When you go to the store, they're paying the taxes for the food they're buying.
Sure.
They're paying gas. They're paying taxes on gas. You know, anything they buy, a lot of them don't have their, their card, the
wholesale card.
The wholesale card, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're paying taxes.
And they're paying full price.
Yeah,
And
they're paying
retail.
retail.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
right?
retail, there you go.
Yeah, so people say that they don't pay their taxes. They're paying their taxes.
And there's some damn shit like getting shot in the foot.
Right.
Fuck.
Fuck
I
you,
got
man.
robbed and shot in the foot.
Yeah.
Which is always a super real possibility.
No,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
out there,
for sure.
vending and stuff out there in these streets. Like that is
Because who's getting tacos at 2 a.m?
right. Who's got and where's their guaranteed cash at?
Yeah.
Where's their cash? Where's their cash
Yeah.
at? You know, like I know where there's cash right here
Yeah.
at this fucking taco truck, right here at this food, right here at the fruit stand, right here. Like there's cash here.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of these vendors, I mean, they're out there like you said at 2 a.m. and they get robbed and beaten. They don't
Can't
report
do
it.
shit about it.
Yeah, they don't report it. You'll go back and you'll see them with the black eye and you're thinking, oh, something happened here. And then you'll ask them, they're like, oh, I got robbed last night. But they're back at work the next day because they have to.
And whoever they have to kick up to too is not wanting to hear you got robbed either. You know what I mean? Wherever that money's supposed to go, that person is not like, oh, you got robbed, cool. We'll just forget about it. Like,
hustle up
that
tomorrow.
that money still got paid to somebody somehow.
Exactly. It's sad. And that's the sad thing that's going on. A lot of these people are getting robbed. They're getting beat. They're getting their stuff thrown all over the floor. And, you know, like I said, when I go back from doing food, what I've done in the past, I know what it's like to cut onions, cilantro, make salsa, and to see this being thrown on the floor.
How long all of that takes?
You know what? From going to the store, going to Costco, going to Restaurant Depot, going to these places, buying the stuff, going back home, cleaning it, washing it, dicing it. It's hours. It's time. It's not overnight. I mean, it's. I would prep for an event at least a week before, and this is drive time. This is getting out of your car, going to the store, buying all this stuff, going home. You know, I had freezers. I had this. I had a lot of stuff. And prepping the work, it's a lot of heartache. You know, not heartache. It's a lot of back pain. I mean, you're up there chopping, dicing.
Yeah.
You know, 3 a.m. Like I said, you're up at 3 a.m. and you're like, man, I gotta go to bed. But you gotta wake up early to finish it off. And then sometimes I would be like, why am I doing this? But I love cooking. You know, like I told you guys, I've took it on the road, and we won awards. I mean, we won awards for our cooking, and it's the best feeling in the world to win Jackson, Mississippi in 2015. Jackson, Mississippi State Fair's Vendor's Choice Award.
How did you wind up in
I
Mississippi?
was gonna say.
You know, we ended up moving to Miami.
All right, how did you wind up in Mississippi?
Well, you know what it was. We got a food truck or a trailer, 22-foot trailer, and we decked it out. And my brother-in-law was going on the state fairs and stuff and finding out what state fairs had the most people. Jackson, Mississippi brings in about 1.5 million people through a 3-week period. And so he said, why don't we go to Jackson? I said, how far is that from here? He's about 12 hours, something like that. No, more than 12 hours. It was a long drive. And I said, let's do it. So we set up.
Your shift was 12 hours.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We started off in Miami it was called Santa's Enchanted Forest, a 2.5-month fair. And we were there. And then we went to the Miami Youth Fair. And then we went to Orlando. And from Orlando, we went to Jackson, Mississippi. But that was a good drive. And Jackson, Mississippi was awesome. I got to admit, these people there were super Southern comfort. Not Southern comfort, but they were just so warming. They would bring us food. So we ended up in Jackson, Mississippi. Now, let me tell you something about Jackson, Mississippi. They take their fairs super. This is like their biggest event.
I got 13 hours going from Miami to Jackson. So
Yeah. It was a drive. And I did all the driving because my brother-in-law wouldn't pull the truck. It was, I'm an ex-truck driver, so I drove the truck.
I would have had you drive the truck too.
Hell yeah.
You drive trucks?
He just sat back and
Get
listened to
in.
radio, played
Yeah.
on his phone. We had another guy in the backseat just sleeping, and it's a long drive. But we got up there, and they set us up for an award, not an award, I'm sorry, for a competition. And we were up about 150 vendors. 150 vendors. We're talking a big thing. And so I took a walk and I looked at some of these vendors. You know, you had Harlem's Barbecue out of Texas. You had these fish fry. You had all these like different styles of food. And some of these stands were super nice. I'm talking like they were just beautiful, right? And I said, all right, well, we don't have a chance here. You know, it's cool. We're going to do what we got to do. We were just down the street from the state capitol. And right when we opened up, we were the new kids on the block. First Mexican food at the state fest history was
Hell
us.
yeah.
And this is funny because I was the only Mexican on the truck. My brother-in-law is Puerto Rican, and his buddy, our buddy, was Cuban.
They're like, all these Mexicans. It's
Yeah.
like, no.
No,
Only
just
one
one.
Mexican.
Yeah, we had people coming up to us and saying, where are you guys from? And my brother-in-law would be, oh, we're from Miami. And I would look at the people and I'm like, they're from Miami. I'm from East LA. And then people would come up and, oh, you're from East LA? Yeah, I'm from East LA. Oh shit, okay, well, cool, you know. And so
Yeah, because these fools were like, oh, look at these dudes from Miami making tacos. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
and we're all like
It's
them.
like, no, East LA. It's like, oh, shit, East LA. All
are
right,
good. These have
let
to
me
be
get some of these
authentic.
tacos then.
Yeah.
we had this young kid come up with a skateboard, long hair. He was with a couple buddies. And he comes up and he says, Mexican tacos. We had the Mexican flag. We had, you know, everything. And this kid comes up and he goes, Mexican tacos. Where y'all from? And I said, I'm from East LA. And he looked at, his eyes opened up, right? He looked at me, he goes, I'm from Acerino. I said, where are you from? He says, I'm from Acerino, with an accent. I said, do you say Acerino? He says, yeah, Acerino. I said, what the hell are you doing out here, man? He goes, oh, man, after elementary, my dad, he got a job in Jackson, Mississippi, so we moved out here. So he ordered a bunch of food. And I was like, man, good, all right, brother, I'm from City Terrace, just right up the street. So we started talking, and the next day he brought his sister down. And then he brings his sister, and he's like, hey, homie, tell her where you're from. Tell her where you're from. I said, I'm from East LA. She threw her hands in the air and said, yes. So they end up getting a bunch of food, and I thought that was pretty cool, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of home. You know what I'm
It's pretty,
saying?
and like, the fact that, how old was this guy?
This guy must have been about 17.
So he moved in elementary school, but still is like, I'm from fucking LA.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to
yeah.
hear none of this Mississippi shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm from fucking LA. Yeah.
And I miss the
and
food.
still out there, like, checking fools.
Yeah.
Oh, he was checking me. He's looking at me like, where are you?
where are all these fools from talking about tacos? It's like East LA. All right, that's
Yeah,
cool.
he was
Like,
in. As soon as I said East LA, he
he was
says, I'm
ready
in.
to fight whoever. Oh, we're from fucking down the street, Mississippi. You better get this fucking
Yeah.
shit out of here.
Who'd you steal the recipe from?
We actually had one guy out there called Tito's Tacos, or that he went under Tito's Tacos. It was a chain restaurant. We had the owner coming to our food truck every day and eating, and I didn't know who he was, but one of the guys pointed him out. He goes, "You know who that guy is?" I said, "I have no idea." He goes, "That's the owner of Tito's Tacos. He's trying to get
Tito.
your,
That's
trying to get your
Tito right
recipe." And I was
there.
like, "I'm cool."
He's for sure that fool's like, oh,
Yeah, you know, it's
you taste it.
my friend's mother, God rest her soul. She told me one day, Jimmy, you can give your recipe to anybody, but don't ever make it like you do. And
Sure.
I thought it's true.
That's very true.
You know, so
Very
people
true.
would always ask me, how do you make this? And I'm like, if I tell you, I can't sleep at night. And that was just kind of the end of the conversation.
Sure.
But I would be scared because people wanted to replicate it and stuff. So, yeah, I took pride in it. So we did it for years. And, yeah, we went back to Miami and we joined the Miami Youth Fair again. And and Miami's Youth Fair is more of a arepas, Cuban sandwiches, and just all, you know, the Caribbean food,
Sure.
which is amazing, which is amazing. But to come out first place, best in taste, that's in 2016. That was a tap on the shoulder. That was
Fuck
like,
yeah.
wow, okay. And then we got back in 2017, did the Taco Loco Festival at Boyle Heights. And yeah, we got first place again. And Melo Menace was the guy that gave us our award. And he's like, dude, your salsa está tremenda, bro. You know, so I was like,
Mentirosa.
yeah.
Now, but so what? Why the transition then? Why not continue to just make food?
You know, it got to a point where we opened up a small restaurant in Covina, and it was just 7 days a week.
Sure.
And from the catering for the food truck, it took a lot of time, and I was missing a lot of my kids. You know, I've got 3 kids. Well, we have 3 kids, and well, they're not kids anymore. They're adults now. But I was missing a lot of time with them. I was always either tired or I was too busy. I was gone for 3 weeks, almost a month. My youngest would call me up and, Dad, when you coming home? And it just broke my heart, you know. And I'll be home in a couple of days, son, you know. And Okay, Dad, I miss you. And I'm like, I miss you too, man. I miss everyone. And it was great being on the road. We were living out of our suitcase, man. We were rock stars on wheels, you know?
Yeah.
You know, we show up to a place and like, we heard about you guys. And I'm like, yeah. And next thing you know, we had lines. And there was times where I couldn't sit down for 10 minutes because my back was killing me. I would look out the window and I'm like, damn it.
God damn.
Yeah, we had lines. And so we had people in Tampa, Florida, the fire department. We had a couple of the fire department guys come up and say, what do we need to do to keep you here? I said, what do you mean? He goes, we'll invest. We'll open up some restaurants. We'll invest in. I said, nah, man, I just moved to Miami and, you know, I'm going to be out there for a bit, but we need you here. We'll put some money down. And they were serious. And I was like, you know what? Sounds great and everything, but I'm not going to, I can't, guys. And so we had people asking us to stay in Orlando and stuff like that. And just got to a point where I was overwhelmed with work. At the end of the day, it felt like I had to do everything. And I was just burnt out.
Restaurant work is fucking rough.
It is.
That shit. And ownership too. Like shit's
A lot of people don't know what goes behind it. They think, the food they're just cooking on the grill. There's a lot of, work that goes behind it. But what I did was after we stopped, the restaurant and everything, I was maybe about a couple months in, took a job with Costco as a driver. And I got bored. COVID hit. We were sitting back one day and like everything was just, nobody was out.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I've got cooking experience. I've got awards. I was also featured on the cooking channels, Carnival Eats with Noah Cap, and they loved it. We did that show in one take. The director came back and said, bro, you're good. I was like, no, I'm just being me, He goes, no, you're natural. How would you like to work with us again? I said, I'd love to, man. But they wanted me to go back over there to Florida and everything. I'm like, I can't go out there. I'm back in LA. But, we did that, and I took my experience of food and all that stuff to showcase what I know about food. 2016, I cooked for the presidential debate in Miami. Yeah, at the University of Miami. I was chosen out of, I don't know how many people. They picked me and they asked me if I wanted to do it. And I said, I'm there. And there was only a few of us in there in the kitchen, and we cooked for the president. I had to bring in my knives. I had to bring all my stuff, and Secret Service opened all my shit up, and I'm like, dude, I'm a chef. I'm
like, there's knives in there. I'll tell you right now. There's weapons inside there. There's sharp knives.
They opened my bags, and I'm like, dude, there's knives in there. They opened them up. They went through them, and I'm like, I got to get into the kitchen because I'm gonna cook for you guys right now. And so that was pretty cool. And so I took my experiences from the food industry to videotaping because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to food.
Yeah.
I know how to. I don't need a recipe. You tell me what you want, I cook it up. It just comes to me. And I'm pretty damn good at it. I don't want to be cocky, but
sure.
I built that reputation, and people really dug me. I've done there's a gentleman. He's a real estate guy. He's pretty big, and his uncle was really big. I'll just put it this way: his uncle was Oscar de la Renta, and so I've done a bunch of events for him, and big events, and with some big names and stuff. And he would always tell me, dude, how do you do it, Jimmy? This guy's lived pretty much everywhere in the world. He's had the best of the best. And he tells me, dude, you're amazing. Your sauces, your food, everything. I was like, how do you do it? I said, I don't know, man. I just do. I did a party one time for Richard Montoya, actor Richard Montoya. Mm-hmm. And I remember cooking the food, and Emilio Rivera came up, Jacob Vargas, they all came up, and I was like, oh, cool, man. These guys are cool. They're eating and stuff. But this one guy grabbed some food, and he grabbed some food, he grabbed some sauce, and he walked away. He comes back up, and he's got this big smile. And he's standing next to my taco cart. I got these cool little carts. And he's looking at me with this big smile, and I'm like, what's up, brother? You good? He goes, I'm good. He gives me a fist pump. And I'm like, what's up, man? Are you good? He goes, bro, your strawberry habanero sauce is amazing. I said, you like that? He's like, yeah, man, it's great. It's different. I've never had it. I go, I'm glad you liked it. He goes, do you mind if I take some home? I said, absolutely, brother. Well, under one condition. He goes, what's that? I go, you and I take a picture, and he kind of looks at me. He goes, you know who I am? I said, yeah, I know who you are. Have you guys ever seen the Do the Right Thing?
Yeah.
Okay, the guy, the stutters. I forget his name. Oh, no, I'm sorry. His name's, oh, my gosh. It's Roger Smith. He comes out he's on a movie with Denzel Washington, American Gangster, where he's the one selling them the drugs.
Sure. Back
in Asia. That's the guy.
Fuck, his name
my gosh.
Here, keep talking.
Something Guerrero Smith.
But yeah, so all the success leads you to start filming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did.
You just switched it.
I flipped it. I was bored at home, like I said, during COVID, and we wanted to get out. So I started with my cell phone. I went out there and I did a couple videos, and then, we got a few messages. Hey, can you come down and film us? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And it just kind of evolved after that. And now we're super busy, but it's a blessing because we're helping businesses, get blessed, by bringing people in and stuff. So yeah, it was a whole 180. I want to say, we just went from food to reviewing food. And there's one thing I want people to know, that I don't give anybody point scores or anything like that. I don't think that's fair. If the food's good, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. And I'm going to tell you it's good. There's a lot of videos that I've done and I haven't posted them because I'm not going to mislead you and say this food was amazing.
Sure.
And it was trash. And I've had a few people tell me, "Hey man, what happened to my video?"
What happened to my video?
And I'm kind of like, you know what? You're not going to believe this, but I didn't have the mic on, or it was kind of dark,
Sure.
or it came out a little gringy. I didn't want to post it because I didn't want to.
Hey, you're not going to believe this. Your food is terrible.
I want to tell these people, but you know what I do? I talk to a lot of these vendors and I say, listen, the food's amazing, but you know what? You can do this, you can tweak it, you can do this. And I've given a lot of people advice, and they've listened to me. So
And you don't I know any kind of spot where you're like a critic or whatever. I'm sure the last thing you want to do is take money out of these people's pockets. Whoever's going there and they're happy going there, continue to go there. That's
Right.
cool.
Right. Yeah.
Like you don't want to get in. You don't want to make a video put out shitting on this place, but you're also not going to lie and talk about how great it is.
We started off with a couple of videos that we were called to, and as soon as I got there and I said, I know I'm not gonna like this. Not that I'm gonna like it, but it's it was just not right.
This ain't it.
Yeah, this ain't it. So we shot a couple of videos and then I just never posted them. And I didn't take anything from them. I didn't say anything. I just said, hey, listen, I'll get back to you. And so they messaged me, hey man, when are you gonna post up that video? And I just like, you know what? I'm sorry, man. I just can't. Because I want to let the audience know, whoever's watching us, whoever's following, I want to let them know this place is good. If I'm telling you it's good, it's good. And, so I want people to know that we're not, there's people out there, I'm not going to say names or anything, but there's people out there that just go anywhere. Come check them out. They're great.
Sure.
And then you go there and you try and you're like, it's trash.
Yeah.
Like, why would you tell me this is good,
right,
man?
Yeah. So I don't take their word anymore. I don't trust them because they're just doing it for
payday.
Yeah.
And
payday.
for clicks and likes also. And it's like you put out something that, especially when you're looking at like internet stuff, like Instagram or whatever, that isn't just for LA. This is for the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this is going around the world. So maybe 1%, like if you get like a big audience, like a worldwide audience, less than 1% is anybody that could actually go and eat these tacos. The rest of the people is just shit you see on the internet. So you make a cool video, do it, whatever, with some sweet cuts and like some nice music in the background. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. They're like, I don't give a fuck about these tacos. I just want to make this video.
That's it.
As opposed to like actually like, no, I'm trying to pump up these businesses. I'm trying to let you know where the spots are in LA, which is a completely different business model than content creation. Like, I just got to get out as many videos as I can.
Yeah, stay active.
Yeah, it's a completely different fucking thing.
There's a lot of them out there that just do that.
Right.
And they're doing it for all the wrong reasons, whatever reasons they're doing it for. And a lot of these people don't have the experience in the kitchen, like, and that's what I kind of laugh. I met a lot of these, influencers out there, and a lot of them are cool. They're really cool, but there's some that there's a few that don't have it. Any experience, and they think they know what they're talking about. I listen to them, and I just kind of, like, all right, whatever, But like I said earlier, the sun comes out for everybody, and everybody's allowed to do what they want to do. But I really, I just want people to know that I really care about these vendors. I really care what they do, and I give them advice. I tell them what, hey, check this out, do this, do that, wear gloves, because people don't want to see. There's been a few times.
Like, what do you mean gloves? Like,
Yeah.
come on, just trust me, man.
Yeah, put on some latex gloves and just use them, because a lot of people will say he's not wearing gloves. That's unsanitary. Blah 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 blah. That's a dirty rag. If you've ever worked in a kitchen,
You've been in the kitchen.
let me tell you something. A kitchen is dirty.
Hell
yeah.
yeah, it's dirty.
It's very dirty. And people go, oh, I'll go to these big name restaurants. You don't know what goes on in the kitchen. Let me tell you something. They're filthy.
Cocaine goes on in those kitchens.
Yeah.
I went to a restaurant up in Big Bear, some Mexican restaurant with some friends, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna like it." And I was there, and the lady came out, and she's like, "Oh, how did you like it?" And she comes to the only Mexican at the table.
Yeah.
"Oh, did you like the chile verde?" And I was like, "No."
You actually told her that?
Yeah. I was
Wow.
like, "No." I go, "It was not good. This also came out of a can.
Yeah.
It was horrible." And she looked at me like she never heard that in her entire life. Like, who tells you the truth? And you know what? As a fault of mine, maybe it's a fault of mine, I like to be as honest as I can, man. If bands come in here and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make it," I'm like, "Nah, bro, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not." That restaurant, like I said, I went there and everybody was enjoying their food, and she came up to me and I was like, "Nah, this sucked."
You know what? This is funny that you say that. There's a lot of restaurants that do can, and I taste it.
You can taste it.
I can tell you right there, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, this is can. This is
ain't it.
trash. You're not even trying. You know, roast a couple jalapenos, roast a couple, tomatoes, and add a
Even
little,
if you use a can, church it up.
Sure.
Add a little something to it.
Yeah.
You know
Do
what I'm
some
saying?
stuff.
You can.
Costco sells the cans, and guess what? I worked at Costco as a delivery driver, so I would see these restaurants buying cans, and I'm like,
Sure.
are you kidding me? Like, no, dude, don't do that. It saves them time, it saves them money, blah, 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 but at the end of the day, it's terrible.
This is like the problem with salsa, the problem with barbecue, like in Texas and all that stuff, is the scalability.
Yeah.
Like when you start scaling up, you lose it. Like you lose it. You know,
Yeah.
like it's so rough.
That time you were taking to chop the onions at 1 hour, now 6 hours of just chopping onions.
Yeah, it's like I can't chop onions.
Hell no. I'm
And
buying
it's like,
it.
oh, Costco's got a giant bag for. It's like, oh, well, let me get that fucking
Yeah,
bag.
that's what
Like,
they end
I'm
up doing. You end up going to Costco and buying chopped onions. You buy cilantro already cleaned and everything. It's just like, to me, I like to cook. I like to go to farmers markets and buy, onions, tomatoes, potatoes or whatever, grown locally. Going home and washing them. That's the art of it. Washing it, skinning
Sure.
them, cutting, dicing. I like the sound of the cutting board. I love that sound. To me, that's, I would sit back and that was my time. When I would make salsa on the road, I would put on my
It's
earphones.
meditating.
It
Like-
is.
like you're meditating.
I would kick
That's,
the guys out of the truck and be like, "Yo, take off. Come back in a couple hours. We're not gonna record you. It's not that, dude. I'm in
My
the zone."
time.
And I would sit back and chop dice, and then do the salsas, and then afterwards I taste them, and I'm like, "Damn, these are good."
You might not answer this question, but what's your favorite canned salsa? Is there one? Is there one that you'd be like, you know what?
You know what?
Let me grab this paste pecani really quick.
You nailed it. I love paste pecani. I really do.
That's the one I get.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so good. It's funny you said that paste pecani. That's so good. Something about that. But I don't put that on everything. I put that on just maybe like a quesadilla.
I usually do it for chips. Like if it's
Yeah,
like
chips.
everyone's coming over, we're gonna watch the game. Let me go real quick. Let me grab something. Paste pecani.
Yeah, that or Victoria's. Victoria's is very
Victoria's
good.
good,
Yeah,
too.
Victoria's is real good. Those are the ones that I'll get. But I do stop at the local supermarkets like at Super.
Yeah, they make
stuff
their
like-
own,
They
yeah.
make their own, and
Yeah.
they're very tasty. They're very good. So it takes a little time, but homemade salsa is the best by far the best. So
There's a place by my house that does this guacamole salsa. It is, and it's chunky. It is so bomb, and it's hardly ever there. But I'm gonna freeze it next time.
yeah.
Freeze
You
that
learned
bad boy.
something
Hell
new here.
Yeah, no, freeze it. Trust me, I would make these big things of salsa and I would freeze them. What happened was, I'll give you a backstory to that. So one day I'd given my mom salsa, and I came over to the house and we had some lunch and stuff, and then I said, "Where's the salsa, man?" I looked in the refrigerator. She goes, "Oh, it's in the freezer." I'm like, "What are you doing? Why'd you put it in the freezer?" "Oh, it stays better. It lasts
Last
longer."
one, yeah.
Like, you don't know
So
shit.
yeah,
It's supposed to last. We're supposed to eat it
Ah,
up.
mom, like, get out of here.
Exactly. So it was in a bag, and so yeah, it's funny. I put it on in some hot water so it can thaw out, and once it thawed out, I tasted it, and I was like, "What?" Like my taste buds just went, "Poof," and I was like, "Okay, that's crazy." The flavor was different. So what I did was I would make these big old containers, put them in the freezer, and keep them overnight. So when I get up in the morning, I would take them out. So
We
they'd
found
be
the
down.
secret.
Yeah.
It's not the ingredients. It's not nothing to do
Yeah.
with that. It's the freezer.
But
we
remember,
found the
no,
secret.
no, he was making already award-winning salsa. Now he just made like super award-winning salsa.
Yeah. I just took it to the next level. Somehow, some way, it just made it much more tastier. And we've done a bunch of events. Too many to remember, but we've done so many events. And the first thing that people would always come up and like, you make the salsa? I'm like, yeah. Like, dude, who taught you? And is this a grandma's recipe? Is this your No, it was me and my wife. We just put our heads together. I just knew as a kid, I loved to cook.
Yeah.
And when I was 17, my pops passed away, and my mom did all the cooking in the house. I did my cooking here and there, but my mom cooked. So she went into the room for a couple years, of course not, she went into the room, locked her door. And so I had to cook. And I said one day when I was, about 17, I said one day, man, I'm gonna be a chef one day. I remember saying this in the kitchen, and it just kind of hit me. And not to realize that I've done a number of celebrities, and I've done a bunch of people, and everybody would come up, fist pump me. We were on the radio in Miami, La Chica Evie from 96 point something. She's like, oh my God, this guy's from LA. His name's Jimmy. He's from East LA, and he's got the best salsa I've ever had. So we were wowing people left and right. And people to this day ask me, I just got a message the other day, yesterday as a matter of fact, the guy says, hey man, you still doing salsas? And I'm like, nah. He's like, why not? I said, I'm doing this now. I'm doing, not food reviews, but just supporting the locals, just being an influencer. But I would love to get back in the kitchen. I mean, I would like to try it one day, just to give it a shot.
Well, you're more than welcome to set up here, make some salsas and stuff, man.
Yeah, I would love. I'll make some. I would love to do that, just to kind of give you guys, so you guys can try it.
And one of my oldest friends is a chef, and that's what he used to always say, that recipes are for housewives. When he would ask, like, "Oh, what is recipe?" Man, recipes are for housewives. Like, I get in there and I cook. I just make it happen. I don't need to hear about what you're supposed to do or how much of this or how much of that. He's like, fuck, I know how to cook. Like,
I've never done anything with measuring anything. It just came from I'd grab something, throw it in there, blend it, mix it, this, that, and then I try, and I'm like,
stir and taste. So
exactly.
how do you cook? Stir and taste.
Yeah,
so that's how you do it.
I had my wife would try it and stuff, and she'd look at me and was add a little more salt. What do you think? Add a little more of this. I'm like, all right, cool. And we'd finish it off, and then we'd high five each other. That was our little seal the deal. Just high five, boom, and it would always come out the same. But I would always just because I'd be trying these different salsas, so my taste buds were kind of a little shocked, and so I would have her come in and just drink a little water, try it. I knew it was good, but I wanted her opinion.
Yeah,
I wanted her to kind of do it. But yeah, we did that. I'm gonna tell you a funny story real quick. There was a girl in Jackson, Mississippi, and she's a blonde girl. And have you ever seen those movies where the girls are running, their hair's kind of in the kind of in the back, and she's running towards the truck. She's got this big smile, and I'm right there at the window, and we're serving, right. She runs up and then she jumps right in front of me. She's like, I'm back. And I said, you're back. I don't remember her.
No, of course.
And I'm like, you're back. She's like, okay, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. So I start, writing down what she's gonna order and stuff. And then she's looking down the little tables where we have all the salsa. She says, where's your green basil jalapeno? And I said, you know what? I don't have any more. We ran out yesterday. You're kidding, right? I said, no, but I have all these other ones. She's like, no. You're kidding, right? I said, no. She goes, dude, you know what it took? It took me over an hour to get here. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't have that. But I have this other salsa. She goes, you're kidding, right? We're going back and forth. Finally, she goes, you know what? Forget it. She got really upset, and she turned around and walked away. I thought she was joking with me, right? I'm like, I tell my buddy, I go, she's joking? He says, no, dude, she's serious. And he goes, call her. I go, well, what do you want me to do? I don't have any more salsa. She literally walked away from us because she said she drove an hour to get there to get our food with the green basil jalapeno, and we didn't have it. So she walked away. So that was, I felt kind of bad for her, but then again, I felt good. I was like, damn.
Like, that's cool, dude. Fuck you. Like, I told you, I told you these other ones are good too. Try this.
Yeah. We had people stealing them from the truck. We'd have those, the plastic containers, and I would look at the, where we had them at.
Yeah. Just out there dunking a plastic water bottle, and they're like, doop, doop.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had this little kid one day just with a cup. We have a creamy chipotle. It's freaking amazing. And this little kid's kind of ducking down like this, and he's going, and he's looking up. And I turn around, I look at him, and I didn't, I wasn't mad or anything. I said, "Hey man, what are you doing?" He puts the thing back and he takes off running.
You just knew you could scare off this kid. Right,
I'm gonna tell that because we are the #1 live Tuesday podcast in the world. So that girl's listening.
Yeah, she's out
and
there.
I'm gonna tell you one thing right now, young lady. You missed out.
You fucked up, man.
On having more than one favorite salsa.
You could have had another favorite salsa.
Yes,
two or three.
Blonde girl running in the wind in Mississippi in 2016.
Yeah, now you could have had like 3 different ones, and you could have had like different. I'm gonna go with this one for that, and with the side I'm going with this. You missed out.
Like, quit acting like you know everything when we just blew your mind yesterday. You didn't know shit until yesterday, and now you're an expert. Like, just let us do our thing. We could have led you in the proper direction for a brand new favorite salsa, but you got to be an asshole about it, and now you don't get anything.
Yeah.
Drive an hour back now.
And don't think that we can only do one thing great.
Right. Right. You try to put me in a box?
Yeah.
You try to put me in a greatness
all I can
box?
do is that one?
Put me in a greatness box? I can make anything great. Get out of here.
2-part question. Favorite taco stand and then favorite stand that you've been at.
Favorite taco stand? And a favorite stand I've been at?
Yeah, because, you know, I know you do other stuff. I've seen like gordita, like the gorditas one you just did. Man, I love me a good gordita.
Let me tell you something about those
And a
gorditas.
good
Too.
gordita.
Yeah, I was like, I thought we were talking about food.
Yeah, these gorditas. I'll tell you something fast about these gorditas. The chile verde it's up the chain, man.
Okay, where's those are at where?
Okay, so those gorditas that are at Avenue 26 on Imperial, 2300 East 15th Street in LA, and they're called Las Tres Gallinas. Let me tell you something. They are super tasty. I mean, just amazing.
I live pretty far from there.
Okay.
When I saw the video, I was like, I'm gonna go just to get those damn gorditas.
I'm gonna tell you something. She makes the hand. She hand presses them, and so she makes them right there in front of you. But the flavor of they're all really good. She got picadillo. She's got chorizo con papa, which is oh my gosh. And then she has a green sauce. We were talking about the green sauce. That is super super delicious. But my favorite is the salsa verde. I mean, it's just so. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. This lady knows what she's doing. That's all I'm gonna say. This lady knows what she's doing. She's got history behind that. There's much more but just putting salsa verde. But I'm gonna tell you something. My favorite taco stand, or my favorite, I love al pastor.
Okay.
You know,
same here.
braised pork. You know, pork in the trompo and stuff. I love
With
that
the
flavor.
piña.
With the piña.
I don't like the piña though.
What?
Really?
I don't. No. But go ahead.
Without
sorry.
it, I'm
nah.
out. If there's no, I don't even want to bother with it.
There's a stand out there that we support, and they got attacked by this one guy a couple months back in Whittier. I don't know if you saw the video on that, where the guy, you know, threw a bunch of fire
Oh yeah, I've
extinguisher.
seen that one.
Yeah, and they're called Tacos La Güera. Okay, so they're all over LA. They're all over San Bernardino. There was just an accident not too long ago where a customer was killed at one of their stands. He was actually run over. Car plowed into them and
Holy
stuff.
shit.
Yeah, because they're just on the side of the road. They wear green shirts. They have the best al pastor tacos, hands
Straight
down.
up.
Oh man, now people can say King Taco's the best. I'm gonna put it out there. This is just my personal opinion. It's just me saying King Taco's gone down. It really has.
I was about to
agree.
say King Taco. They're not even in my top
That's
100.
Yeah.
swinging at me
No.
with King Taco.
Yeah.
That's the hill you want to die on,
Yeah,
King
King
Taco.
Taco.
Well, I'm with him where the meat was beyond flavored,
Oh, it was-
juicy, oily.
Yes.
Fucking incredible. Now, I just recently went after
So
a while.
disappointed.
Yeah, it's fucking dry as fuck. It's not the same. No.
No, yeah, in the salsas have gone downhill. So bad they're flavorless. I actually had to add salt to my salsa roja there.
Damn.
That's bad.
How about the tamales though?
Tamales are good. You know,
Yeah, the tamales are good.
Yeah, they're good. I've had the tamales there. The quesadillas, of course, you know, they're the same, but the meat is just not the same. But Tacos La Güera have
The best.
a very good recipe on the trompo. On the al pastor, it's just so flavorful. And if you tell them to leave it a little extra on the grill, of course they'll cut out the parrilla. I mean, off the trompo, put it on the grill, and then toast it up a little bit. Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah. It's just the flavor,
Get a little crunchy.
the seasoning. It's just perfect.
I think with King Taco and a lot of other spots that we always talk about as friends sharing, like, oh, my favorite spot, a lot of them have to do with childhood memories.
course.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
young. My dad took me here.
Back in the party
You know
days.
what I mean? Like, oh, we used to do this here, that. I mean, you know what? Jack in the Box tacos were bomb after every party I was at.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Still is, by the way.
Yeah.
Still is.
Hey, you
And
know
they have
what?
the monster one back right now.
Yes.
Shoot, come on.
Two for $3. Monster
Yeah.
Yes,
tacos.
sir.
So like I think that goes into a lot where people are like, oh, this is the best taco. Yeah, it was like 30 years ago, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
When your dad brought you here and you guys had this moment, and I get it, but because King Taco, I've gone.
You know
to.
what? same goes for anything that was in the 80s and 90s. They don't make the same. Everything's over processed. I mean, I think we had a conversation about Shakey's and how the Mojos used to
Shakey's,
rock
fucking
ass.
Shakey's pizza.
Hell yeah. Shakey's is still like on point with their pizza.
No, their pizza thin crust is bomb.
Still on point, but they're like they're
What about
Mojos.
What about the salad bar, man? Remember when Shakey's?
Oh,
They
it's
sell a
still
Shakey's
good, still
salad
good.
bar. I haven't been to a
On
Shakey's
point.
in so
The
long.
munch
What
a
the
bunch,
fuck,
bro.
Bunch of lunch.
Bunch of lunch. But their Mojos, they used to hand cut them.
That's what I was gonna say. They used to hand cut them and put them in the batter and fry them.
Yeah.
Now they don't do that no more. They're boxed in.
Yeah.
See?
And that's where you lose the flavor.
Scalability.
That's where you lose flavor. That's where you lose quality. That's where you lose everything. They get big, like you said, you know, and then once they get bigger, they can't afford. They just don't do the same process.
It's impossible to do it. Once you get like that big, it's impossible. To
You know, just like In-N-Out. I mean, In-N-Out, they do everything hand cut. You know, the lettuce and everything. A lot of people can say stuff about In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out. I
In-N-Out
think it's great. Every time I go there, it's always the same. And I'm always happy. When I walk out of In-N-Out, I'm like, I'm happy.
And the price point,
Oh,
like,
it's
is
great.
so
It's
far
great.
below
Everyone else.
But the thing too
Carl's
is,
Jr. Fucking like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't have a menu
Fuck
that's
Carl's Jr.
so crazy.
No.
Chicken sandwiches, this, tacos, burritos.
Nope.
No.
Simple.
They have burgers, fries.
That's it.
That's it.
And In-N-Out is
burgers or cheeseburgers.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
super
yeah, yeah.
simple.
That's it.
Yeah.
In-N-Out is the equivalent of like a taco truck too, because your experience is completely different at a taco truck if you know the secret languages of the taco truck.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing that's on, and the
Spanish,
things that
you
aren't-
mean?
No, like even yeah, but it's like even if because I don't speak Spanish, but I know you can get grilled onions. I don't speak Spanish, but I know about the secret stuff that
secret
goes
menu.
on.
The whole
ins-
grill, that-
Yeah. I know
yeah.
the secret stuff that goes on inside that truck, and the same thing at In-N-Out. Like In-N-Out's great at a steady pace, and if you know about the little secret bullshit that goes on
Yeah.
there, it's even better. And like it's the
Right,
same thing
right.
in the fucking taco truck.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they haven't changed their recipe, not the recipe or the way they make stuff. So once I went to Shakey's a while back, and I was disappointed. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is terrible.
Especially because of Mojos, you really want the Mojos.
The Mojos.
What do you think I'm here for?
Yeah,
Pizzas, Mojos, and chicken.
That's what drew us in. The Mojos.
Yeah.
You would draw in because you wanted the ketchup with the salsa on the side and
Come
dipping.
on. Talk to me, Jimmy.
You know, but yeah, there's so many food stands out there that are so good. But I'm gonna say one thing. I saw somebody about King Taco's always been garbage by what is it, Samuel?
Oh, Sam
Samuel,
Jimenez.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's up,
what's up, brother?
Sam?
You know, and I'm gonna say something. When the ownership was by Raul Martinez, which is the owner, which is the dad, he knew what quality was. He cared about his product.
Mm-hmm.
After he passed away a couple years back, many years ago, his family took over. And what
Little
they did,
Raul don't know how to do it.
little Raul was cutting corners.
Yeah.
And it cut flavor, it cut taste, it cut quality. And now to me it's I won't go back to King Taco. The last time I went, I think we paid like $60 and I was like, this is terrible.
And you forgot the salsa.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, no, that's what it's all about. I mean, you keep it to where it's simple, like you said, a simple taco truck where they have everything. You speak the language. Hey, you know, you got 3 type of meat, you got a burrito, you got a quesadilla. Simple, and you know what you want. You get the grilled onions, you get this, you get that. Bam, you're good. So there's a lot of good food out there. There's a lot of people that got great food, and just they're all different. You know,
Yeah.
if everybody can say, somebody can say, oh, it's all the same. No, it's not.
No.
Every truck is different. And I want to say something real quick. We're talking about different taco stands, and you know, my favorite, down in Rosarito, Puerto Nuevo, in Ensenada, Valle de Guadalupe, they got amazing food out there.
Yeah, they're killing people out there, though, bro.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, we were at the. I want to say
Get
this
your head
is,
cut off.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
We were at the Mole Festival. We were invited by the. You know, we're doing a lot of stuff out there with a lot of the chefs. So I know a lot of the chefs out there, and we've been getting invited a lot to go down there and do stuff with them. And we were at the Mole Festival, and we had our grub, our food, and everything. It was really cool. It was just a really awesome event. As soon as we drove up the street and made a right turn, cops were showing up and they were blocking up the street. So we had to go around the cop cars. We find out the next day they shot some guy in the middle of the street, and I'm like, okay, that was like 100 feet from us where we were at.
And you can get good tasty ass tacos here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you can. But I'm gonna go back on something. We were talking about all the stuff that they put in food. So we took a young kid, one of my daughter's friends. We took him to Mexico, and he was trying the food. And other groups of people that were there, they've never been out there, and they were talking about, wow, the food's different here. It's good. It's organically over there. They don't process it like we
Sure.
process food
Yeah.
here. So that's the sad part, you know, is that the food out there is just so much more. They had a little taco stand. Excuse me, a little taco stand in Rosarito, right off the side of the road. A little dingy, little messed up place, but man,
Tacos.
oh my God, hands down, wow. I mean, just the guy. And this is funny. The guy goes, "Hey, you did a video for us a while back." I said, "Yeah, I remember." And I was like, "Yeah." And he saw it and stuff. So they hooked us up with some tacos and stuff. But their al pastor and their carne asada is just mind blowing. Like, if you bring this here, you're gonna blow up. But of course they live out
Quality
there.
would change.
Oh, but yeah, you're right. The quality would change because the meat's different. It's not
Yeah.
processed. I mean, this is farm grown, I would
Yeah.
say, and they get the stuff from the local butcher.
Pretty
So
fresh.
so yeah, it was really really tasty. So Mexico, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Our podcast family from My Grito, Emo Brown down in San Diego, they were talking about tacos not too long ago on their show, and they were upset that LA was above San Diego.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we're better, right?
Yeah,
we have better
You know-
tacos. Come on.
Yeah, it's just like Texas. People say Texas got the best food, best Mexican food. If you go to Texas, that's Tex-Mex.
Yeah, it's
they
not the
switch it
same.
up. It's not the same. Now we here in Los Angeles, it's Little Mexico.
Yeah.
It literally is. It's Little Mexico.
Because when you're leaving Mexico, you're not stopping and staying in San Diego.
You know what kind of whoever left didn't stop.
No.
kept
You know what I mean?
going.
They kept fucking like, get
kept
out of
going.
here. Whoever was worth their fucking salt
Yeah.
did not stop in San Diego when they fucking escaped. They kept fucking going. If you want to sell me San Francisco, you can sell me San Francisco because they kept, you know what I mean?
Maybe they went further.
Maybe they kept going. But what they didn't do is stop in fucking Mar Vista. You know?
Yeah, and
I mean,
exactly.
like, get out of here.
So I heard that and I was like, what? Come on, guys. LA has better tacos.
It's true. You know what? I've traveled. I've traveled. The South and here and there and stuff. And I've always wanted to stop at these little local places just to try them out. Just support them and see what they're all about. I gotta say something. Out of all the places I've been to, LA's got the best Mexican food, hands down. Period. I don't care what anybody says. You can say, "Hey, Texas got it, Miami or here, blah blah blah." East LA, Los Angeles in general, it's got the best Mexican food. Have you been to El Tepeyac? I mean, a lot of people can say they're great. Their food's great. Their chile verde. No, I'm sorry, chile verde rojo. But it's chile verde. It's amazing food. And I couldn't wait to get back home from Miami to try all the food. We were thin in Miami. When we got back, we got fat.
So I got to go to Miami then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, thin it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like a sauna out there, man.
No, you know what? I won't say nothing about Tepeyac. I mean, I've been there. I don't know.
I'm going to tell you something. Just like Raul Martinez from King Taco when he passed away, Manny passed away.
Yeah.
Little Manny, man. Little Manny
Little
fucking.
Manny. Hey, and you know one thing I've learned today? Cutting corners, for all you restaurants, for all you taco stands, cutting corners only leads to one thing: cutting quality and flavor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I've told this story before, but there was an episode of The Facts of Life in the 80s where where one of the girls in the house, Joe, the one who's like a tomboy, she was making pizzas. And this was like her family. This is how her family made pizza. They'd be making.
She was a tough one from New York, right?
Yeah. There's artichoke hearts in it, all this stuff. Like that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what they did. So slowly it became a business,
Wow.
and the bigger it got, they started cutting corn. They started getting frozen artichoke hearts, and they started like doing all this stuff. And by the end of it, it's like everybody was upset, and
Right.
no one was happy
Quality
with what
went
was
down.
going on. And then it turned into a business. So they were and it was just like scalability, man. I learned my lessons from The Facts of Life, man.
It's funny, but I've learned the facts of life. I learned the facts of life by watching the facts of life.
Sure.
Yeah, so back in the days, but no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, you're right. Quality is everything. And if you start changing and you start cutting corners and start buying the cheaper product, you're going to lose people.
Yeah.
You keep it real, you keep it simple. It might cost you a little more, but you're going to get more people. And that's the way it goes in the kitchen. And I've never cut corners. I always, even to this day, when we cook at home, we buy good stuff. I'm going to buy the name brands and stuff just to make everything taste better. And I love cooking breakfast. I love cooking all kinds of stuff. And that's what I do. It's funny, but I've got a flat top, 36-inch flat top in my front yard. Got a patio. I've got a pizza oven. And I've got just a regular grill. And I cook on all of them. And I love cooking. When my daughter, my family says, "Can you cook?" I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. I get excited. I get excited. I opened the refrigerator. A couple years back, we had a thing in Boyle Heights called La Hora de los Niños. So we were teaching the younger generation how to cook food because
Fuck yeah.
my daughter would, I'm not gonna, but she would always say, "There's nothing to eat." I'm like, "Open the refrigerator. There's stuff in there."
There's a bunch of ingredients.
So
you know,
yeah,
you can-
yeah. So me and my wife decided at the farmers markets to bring our grill, bring some ingredients, and show the local kids. So what we did was a lot of these kids were, single moms, single fathers, whatever. They'd come home and they're starving, they can't eat or anything. I wanted to show them when you open up that refrigerator, yes, you can make a meal. So we would bring simple ingredients and show them. And that's what we did that for a while. And we called it La Hora de los Niños. We would just cook for them. And it was something that came out of our pockets. The city took notice of it, so we're gonna get funded by a couple.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna get, and it just never came through. So it got a little expensive out there because we started building more and more people. But this is something that I would love to get back into. I would
Such a great idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids in America, not just here in America, that are starving because they don't know the simple fundamentals of cooking something. An egg is so simple to cook, but people don't know how to flip an egg. People don't know how to cook rice. It's simple stuff that you can cook and make a meal out of it. My family, they go out and get Asian, Chinese food, and they get rice and all this stuff. I get home, I'm like, all right. I get the box of rice. I get this and that. I cut up some onions. I do some stuff. I put a little oil, put the rice in there, and I throw other stuff, and I mix it up. Bam, I got myself some fresh Asian food.
Yeah.
So whatever you've got, you can turn it into a real meal. And that's what I want to do again. I would love to do that. And working with kids, I'll tell you not funny story. There was this young girl. She must have been about 12. She was, how do I say this? She was handicapped. So her right arm and her leg, she was like limping, and she was standing there. And I said, Mija, come over here. Her eyes open. No. I go, come on, I'm gonna show you how to make a grilled cheese sandwich with a little bit of stuff on top. Get the cheese kind of melted on the top, also in the middle. And then she's like, no. I said, yes, you're gonna help me. Put on your gloves. And she was very
the gloves.
Yeah.
She was like, blam, bam. She put on the gloves. Excuse me. And she was real nervous. So she grabbed the cheese and she went to go throw it on the grill, and it fell on the floor. Her hand couldn't hold it. And she looked at me very scared. I said, no, it's okay. Grab some more. It's okay. Don't worry about it. She grabbed the cheese, threw it on the grill, and she got the spatula. And I seen her she started smiling. She was getting kind of comfortable. She was flipping the stuff, and I'm going, keep flipping it. Tap it on the top, put it in the middle, because that's where the heat's at, and bring it back. It's like a pizza. You kind of turn it around. I had her cut it, and the cheese was melted. Everything looked really nice. And the smile at her face just made everything. So in my mind, her parents don't let her do anything at home because she's handicapped. So she feels like she's incapable of doing something. And I was able to say, yeah, you can do it.
You could totally do it.
And she did it. And the smile, that touched my heart, man. That to me was God's way of saying, hey, man, good job, Jimmy. That was beautiful, man. And that's something that I would love to get into again. If we can get somebody to fund us, I've got the equipment. I've got the equipment. Let's do it. I would love to do that. I think that's something that we can show the young generation.
Absolutely.
And keep them full, not starving.
Yeah, it's crazy how we donate to so many other countries and give money for this because the kids are starving wherever it may be. But there's a lot of them starving here. You know what I'm saying?
Driving through Alabama in America on these little back roads, because we took the shortcuts. We stopped at a couple stores, to get something to eat, little restaurants. So we pulled on these little side roads, and there's a lot of kids out there that are just filthy dirty, filthy. And you can tell they're malnourished, right? Because they're skinny, and you can see, I'm like, this is America. I mean, the land of the free, of everything. And there's
abundance.
Yeah, and there's kids out there, then you look at them, and you can tell they haven't eaten. And it's like, look at that kid over there, man. He doesn't even look like he's had a cheeseburger in about a year. It's sad. And that's here.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
We donate to other people, which is great. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Let's take care of us first before we take care of others. That's how I feel. We take care of everybody, but we need to take care of amongst ourselves. And, it's sad to see this. And this is on the little back roads in Alabama. It was pretty sad to see that. Really was.
Fuck yeah.
I felt like going out there and just buying up some groceries, but we just stopped to get some food. And
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
keep going.
I
so-
can't get involved in your Alabama problems.
Yeah.
But see where cooking is taking you, you know what I'm saying? Like just your dream of becoming a cook after your father passed away. You're in the kitchen because your mom was dealing with her pain.
Right.
You go in there, you start cooking, you start doing this, and then now you went from winning awards to helping out people that are out here struggling or getting abused, vendors, and then now leading to, hey, I want to feed kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? A couple years back, we were in Rosarito. We go there a lot, and we were these little kids came over, the indigenous kids. They came over, and they were talking in their language. And I called them over and said, "What are you guys saying to each other? I'm interested in the language." And he says, "Oh, I'm telling my sister this, telling her that." So then he goes, "Hey, sir, do you mind buying me a couple tacos and a soda for me and my sister?" I said, "Absolutely, come on." So I don't know if they went, because they came from every freaking corner, dude. So we had a table.
As a swarm.
Yeah. So I was ordering 3 tacos and a drink for each one of the kids. The bill was almost $100, and this is what 50 cents tacos at the time. And yeah, it was almost $100. And then they kept coming. Like, no, that's enough. I can't. I paid the tab, and then more kids came up, and I'm like, I don't know how much money I gave them. I go get some. Ran to the car. And then, it was a good feeling. Me and my wife were kind of cracking up. Like, you know how many kids we just fed? But it's a beautiful feeling because these kids a lot of them are orphaned. They're homeless.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see a young kid. My daughter's 24, my oldest 27, my youngest is 19. And I cook for them all the time. Dad, I'm hungry, because they know I love to cook. And to be able to cook them a good meal and set it down and them eat it and them to be happy and satisfied, that satisfies my soul. Now, to see a kid that's starving, yeah, that hurts my soul.
Fuck yeah.
And I want to be able to feed that kid and help him out, even if I can buy him a cheeseburger, a drink, or something, anything, I
remember I was in Peru, and we were walking around this market, because I was with a tour group. We're walking around this market, and this kid comes, and he wants me. His name was Ruben. He's 12 years old, and he wanted me to buy. He was selling bracelets.
Okay.
So I buy a couple bracelets, whatever. And he asked me if he could walk with me. He was like, I just want to do math. He goes like, I can do math, like in English. He was like, I want to do math in English so I can give out change better, and all that stuff.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So we're walking around as me and a girl, my fucking French Canadian love of my life, and Ruben. And we walk around, and he's doing math, and so finally he just asked me, he goes, "Hey man, can you buy all my bracelets?" And I go, "Man, I'm not rich." And he looks at me and he goes, "Yeah, you are."
Wow.
And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You live in the United States."
Right.
He's like, "You got on an airplane and came here, like you're staying at a hotel." He's like, "You're rich."
Wow.
And I've never been rich before in my life, and it was like, it taught me so much about perspective in that moment. From this kid's, I might as well be Bill fucking Gates.
Right.
From this kid's perspective.
In that kid's eyes, you are Bill Gates.
He had more money. I had more money than he could possibly imagine. And I'm broke. I had no fucking money. And it was like, dude, so I bought a couple more bracelets from him.
Nice.
I just gave him some money. I was like, look, man. But I told him after hanging out with him for an afternoon, I go, look, man, whatever it takes to get out of here, you have it. I go, just from hanging out with this kid, I could tell, just the way he was put together. I go, you have whatever, you can do whatever you want, and it was like,
no, you're right.
I felt good,
Crossing the border. So I'm gonna can I give a little shout out to one of my boys out there? Okay, I want to give a shout out to my boy Beach Please Baja. His name's Jay, and Maribel. They own this beautiful, beautiful house up in Puerto Nuevo. This house is amazing. You guys can see it on my Instagram. They go out there and they donate a bunch of stuff to kids out there, the orphaned kids, and they give so much to the people out there. But we've been out to their house. Their house is it's a pretty famous house, and I met him through Instagram, and we became good friends. And so we go down there every so often. He just invited me last 2 weeks ago. I couldn't make it, but man, I'm like, dude, I would love to come down if I get a chance. It's an amazing place. But they donate so much to the local community, and it's just a beautiful blessing what they do. But driving back past the border, and you're talking to these little kids with so much freaking talent.
Yeah.
So much talent. You're right. They can they get a piece of wood and turn it into an Indian figure or something, anything. I wish I can do the art that they do down there. Little kids with guitars singing songs. I mean, I try to pick up the bass and some 4 strings. I couldn't do it.
Same here. Same
Like
here.
I look at people like that
Talent.
and talent. Yes.
Yeah, just talent.
But I think that they have to work harder to survive.
They have to.
Than I've ever worked in my life.
Yeah.
You know, like I've never tried as hard at anything as they have to try every day.
Right.
Just to
at
eat.
life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's like and that
You're right.
that work ethic and that coming from zero, less than zero, kind of like having to work to zero, like just knowing that you can, and not like these are powerful things, man.
It is. It's a sad thing to see them, but yeah, they gotta fight to survive. You know, they gotta fight to stay alive, to eat, to just do anything. It's not. We're spoiled here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the youngest of 6, so my father and mother, you know, they spoiled me. They gave me pretty much everything, and you know, I appreciate it, but I've also learned to work and to get out there and do what I have to do to help people and just make things happen. And there's a lot of kids now that they don't do that. They don't do anything. You know, they just, you know, they AAA, Uber Eats and all this stuff. This stuff gets sent home. You know, my son got a flat tire a while back. He didn't know how to change it. I'm like, damn, I thought I showed you. He's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, dude, it's simple. So I had to get down there and show him how to change a flat tire. I can take a car apart. When I was 15, 16 years old, I couldn't put it back, put it back together. I could take it apart.
I can take shit apart too.
Yeah.
It's the putting it back together is the hard part.
Yeah, you know, so well, we got our hands dirty at a younger age, but
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man, that's what it's all about right now. Just supporting each other and helping each other, and just supporting the local community and the local vendors. That's what we care about, me and my wife.
So where can we catch you? Do you do only Instagram or?
I do Instagram. I'll give you guys my Instagram handle at Jimmy Sauces with the Z at the end, and Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube at Jimmy Sauces, and yeah, I got a bunch of videos. Also, my wife, Chicana Foodie Girl, she's got Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. No, not YouTube. I'm sorry. Chicana Foodie Girl, she's got Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So
How's TikTok been for you guys?
TikTok has been pretty good actually for me.
Motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Everybody I know is like on TikTok, like, how's that going? Oh, it's going good. I'm like, I need to fuck. I fight every day to not make a TikTok and not get involved in TikTok. But everybody that I know that's put any kind of effort into TikTok, it's come back.
Yeah,
like,
you know, I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of these people, a lot of the vendors that I've helped out, they'll come up and tell me, hey man, you know, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So I did a video for a truck in East LA, Boyle Heights. It's a media truck. I did the video. I posted it. I got about 600,000 views, ton of likes. So one day I go in there. We're gonna get something to eat, and me and my daughter show up. And there's a couple surfer chicks there, right? Shorts, you know, Vans, tatted up. And I look at my daughter and I kind of joke with her. I said, "Hey, they're in the wrong neighborhood." And she's like, she starts kind of giggling. So I walk up to the chef. I'm like, "What's up, chef?" He's like, "Hey, Jimmy, what's up? Thanks for the video, this and that." So one of the girls walks up to me. She goes, "Hey, did you shoot the video?" And she pulls out her phone. I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, we saw it on TikTok. Hey, this is the guy that shot the video." And she goes, "We're going to that place next. We're going to this place next."
That's why they were there.
They were from
Yeah.
Anaheim Hills. They're from Anaheim Hills. They were there to have tacos, to have all this food. And through TikTok.
Rich Orange County white girls from Anaheim Hills.
Exactly.
God damn.
Exactly.
They're not fucking around.
So TikTok has been very good to us. A lot of the views I get on TikTok, a lot of they go to the food stands. They go to the food places. And
I'm gonna get me some rich Orange County white girls on
Man.
TikTok.
Authentic.
and if you guys need help with TikTok, I can help you. I'm pretty good at it. So,
Hell yeah. Fuck.
Well, let me tell you one thing. We do not cut corners on the West Coast Pop Lock podcast. So the flavor every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock is always on point. Thank you, Jimmy Sauce,
Dude,
for
thank you
coming
so
in.
much.
Thank you.
We will
Thank you.
definitely need a part 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we didn't even get deep into like
No, we
all
just
kinds of
scratched the
other
surface,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, like we went off on a tangent. We were supposed to talk about, you know, all the other things that you were involved with, helping the vendors out and being on TV and really being the voice for them. But we'll get to that on the next one.
All right, I'm
and
ready.
you better bring some frozen thawed out salsa for us next time.
Absolutely, I'll bring it down, man. You guys were awesome. Thank you guys for having me, and you know, all this talk made me freaking hungry. I think I'm gonna go get some Jack in the Box tacos afterwards.
Hell yeah.
Thank you once again. It's the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast, live every Tuesday night. We'll see you next week.
You.
Peace.
All right. Wow, that was fucking awesome, man. Hey.
The #1 live show in the world, West Coast Pop Log Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores, comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C, and Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop log.